There are multiple Spider-Man stories where Peter doesn't just get stronger, he changes. When people think about Spider-Man, they think about the same things: friendly neighborhood, quips, responsibility. But there's another pattern in Spider-Man stories that doesn't get talked about enough. It's the common storyline thread of him not being fully human. Because this isn't new. This is something that Marvel's been doing over and over again. And if you watched the Brand New Day trailer closely, it looks like we're about to see it in live action. There are multiple Spider-Man stories where he doesn't just level up, he mutates, he grows extra arms, his body changes, his instincts shift, and sometimes he ends up closer to a monster than a human or a hero. And the thing that sticks out is that every time this happens, he doesn't just change, he gets new abilities, new ways of interacting with the world, and usually less control. Now let's take a look at what we're seeing in Brand New Day. The tone feels different. Peter doesn't feel as stable. Even visually, there are some subtle things that feel off. And if you've been watching this channel, you already know that this is not random. That's pattern. Marvel doesn't just introduce change for the sake of it. They build toward transformation. And there's a specific story where all of this comes to a head. It's called The Other. You may be hearing people mentioning it right now. And tied to that story is a villain named Morlun. And he is one of the few villains to ever actually kill Spider-Man. That alone should tell you something, because Spider-Man doesn't lose like that. Not often. And there's a pretty heavy scene between MJ and Peter in that story before any of that happens, and before the transformation, before the fight, and before he dies. Mary Jane basically calls him out on this. She tells him that she thinks that he wants to die, and she thinks it's because he has survivor's guilt. She tells him that she knows he's not just risking his life, that he's accepting the possibility of losing it. And then that's exactly what happens. And if that sounds familiar, it should. In fact, this isn't just a parallel, this is a motif. In Spider-Man stories, the people closest to him don't just support him, they understand the danger before it happens. And by the way, I do have a full breakdown coming of the Amazing Spider-Man movies with Andrew Garfield. And that's what makes what comes next even more important, because once that line gets crossed, there is no coming back. And what's interesting about Morlun is that he looks like a vampire, like something out of a Morbius story, old school Spider-Man horror. But that's where the similarity ends, because Morbius is horror, Morlun is a predator. And this is where the pattern becomes clear. The most dangerous Spider-Man villains are the ones that take away his advantage. That's what makes Venom so dangerous. He doesn't trigger the spider sense. And unfortunately, Morlun doesn't need to, because by the time he shows up, the spider sense is already failing due to the radioactive poisoning in Peter's blood. And that's where the story shifts from Spider-Man being the hunter to becoming the prey. And the part people often misjudge is that even without his advantages, you're still dealing with Spider-Man, one of the most capable adaptive heroes in Marvel. So when someone like Morlun beats him that badly, rips his eye out, I can't remember if he eats it, that's not just a strong villain, that's a whole different type of story. Morlun is an energy vampire, which makes me think of Spider-Man 2099, but his fangs have venom, which is more like a spider, and in my opinion, spiders are arguably worse. Vampires drink blood, but spiders dissolve their prey from the inside and drink that. I'd say that's more unsettling. So when you watch the Brand New Day trailer and you see hints of Peter changing instinctively, mentally, physically, that's not them experimenting, that's them revisiting something they've already done. Because in Spider-Man stories, this always happens eventually. Spider-Man doesn't just grow, he transforms into something new. And when he does, you can bet there's going to be a lot that comes with it. Which makes me wonder, will he get the symbiote? Will he get new abilities? Extra arms? What might his new abilities be? I can't wait. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm Dave Lance, and this has been the Symbiote Signal, decoding the MCU through patterns and logic. And I will see you in the next one.